Hello, welcome to Unboxed God, where we detox from religion and discover the God who refuses to fit inside the boxes we were given. I'm Tolu Sarah Johnson, and here we explore who God really is beyond fear, beyond formulas, and beyond everything we were taught to perform. If you are hungry for a real relationship with Him, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. In the last video, we talked about the burden of performance, that exhausting pressure to do more and be more just to feel loved by God. In this video, I want to go deeper because for many of us, the heaviest burden isn't just performance, it's shame, the burden of shame. And this is still going to be part of the playlist, Let's Talk Religion. Shame is that voice that says, you are your worst moment. You are your sin. You don't belong here. And tragically, many people don't hear that voice from God. They hear it from the church. And it stings. When you hear that, when people keep reminding you that you are your worst moment, you are your sin, you don't belong here. You know, shame is the burden that you've been carrying silently. Because so many people are weighed down by the condemnation from the past mistakes, habits, or sins, things they've repented of, maybe even walked away from, but they still carry the label in their mind. Is it divorced? You might have come across somebody that has been divorced more than once, or you that listening might be someone that's gone through the process of divorce. And a lot of people just label you by that. And they look at you in a way that diminishes you, in a condescending way, because they believe they are better. Are you an addict? You're addicted to wherever it may be. Is it prostitute? Is it to pornography? Is it to drugs? Is it to alcohol? Are you gay? Are you in a homosexual relationship? And people think God doesn't care about you? Do you think you're a backslider? Or do you think you're worthy of God? Those last two things, backslider and unworthy, you can never be any of those. Because to Papa, we are all his children. We never backslide. Backsliding is a word that was, of course, derived from religion. That's going to be another topic for another day. I'm not going to go into that today. But I just want you to know that you are never unworthy. You are always his child, and you'll forever be his child. And for some, the shame is so crushing that they wouldn't even step into a church. I've seen it. Especially, I heard a story of a guy on a TV program, used to be a gay. When he came out to be a gay rabbi, he really, really loved God. He wanted to be part of the choir. But because he came out as a gay, the church turned their back against him. I've heard of a testimony of a lady as well who said she really loves God. She believes she's close to God. But because she is homosexual, the church can't just accept her. And because of that, many don't even want to come near church, not because God has rejected them, but because they feel rejected by us. For a long time, I look at gay as well as something that I never wanted to move close to. I see them far, and I just say, because I felt that being close to them means I'm supporting their sin wherever they are partaking in. But what about the adulterer that sits right beside me every day? You know, it's easy to point fingers. And that's the tragedy. The shame, the carry isn't from God. It's from people like me. It's from religion. It's from how we, the church, have treated them. And it breaks my heart to say this, but I've seen it over and over. A church member makes a mistake. A pastor falls into sin. Something comes to life from years ago. especially for pastors, for great men of God I've experienced. The moment it comes to light, instead of grace, we reach for stones. We say he's disqualified. She's finished. How could they be a pastor and be committing this? But we forgot before they were leaders, they were human. The only difference between them and us is that they said yes to serving. That's it. They never stopped being people. They never stopped needing grace. But in our religious culture, we put pastors and leaders so high on a pedestal that when they fall, we don't know how to love them back to life. We don't know how to sit with their brokenness without trying to erase them. And yet, in the middle of all of this, God is saying, I love you just the way you are. Your salvation isn't based on your perfection. It's not about what you've done or haven't done. It's about what my son did on the cross. He always comes back to what the son did on the cross. Because you are pointing fingers, do you think you've got everything right? There's absolutely no skeleton in your cupboard. There's an adage they used to say where I come from, that when you point one finger at someone, 4 fingers is coming back to you. So means look at yourself first before you start pointing fingers. And even if you were going to point finger in love. But a lot of people point a judgmental finger, a condescending finger, a finger of I am better than you. But Jesus paid the price. So why are we still trying to make people pay with public shame? Why do we keep the noise? Why do we cling to embarrassment, condemnation, and judgment as if they are holy? When church was meant to be the safest place on earth for them, a place where we can confess, we can cry, we can say I messed up. And instead of being thrown away, we are embraced. But for many, church has become a place of secrecy. People hide their struggles because they are afraid of being judged, afraid of being talked about, afraid of being thrown out instead of helped. So what do? We wear masks. I am blessed. I am fine. All is well. Meanwhile, shame is eating people alive on the inside. And the saddest part, many think that's what God is like. But that's not who he is. That's not who my Papa is. I've come to know him. I've come to love him. I've come to adore him. I've come to treasure him. And I've come to honor him. And because of the love I have for him, that's why I'm doing this. Because for the past 2 years, it's been speaking to me. Almost every day, we've been doing conversation that I recorded on YouTube, on my co-authors page, Matthew Robert Payne. And I know not everybody is going to have the opportunity I had. But why would I be receiving all those messages if I'm not giving it out back? Because that's what Papa wants. He wants a lot of people to know about him, irrespective of the mess that you are in. He doesn't care about your mess. He loves you. And his love is so much more powerful than your mess. His love can compensate for your mess. You know, let me tell you about my dear friend and my co-author, Matthew Robert Payne. I always talk about him because he has been the key instrument to the transformation that's happened in my life. And Matthew, I am grateful to you. I'm grateful you encouraged me. I'm grateful you told me to start this YouTube channel, and I'm grateful you watch those YouTube channel. You watch my YouTube video rather, and you keep encouraging me. Know that I love you, friend. I love the fact that you allow me to share your testimony for other people to be able to see God through the lens of your life. Matthew has walked through some very real, very messy battles, especially with addiction and sexual sin. And he has been brutally honest about it in his books. Not to glorify sin, but to help people who feel stuck in the same chains. When I first heard his story, it shook me because everything religion had taught me said God can use someone like that while they're still struggling. But then I saw what God was doing with his life. In the middle of his process, in the middle of his journey, not after he became spotless and perfect, God was still speaking through him, and he still does today, using him to bless people like myself, like using him to bless the whole of heaven, giving him revelation, writing books through him that touched thousands. And he confronted a lie in me. That lie said, until you are perfect, you are disqualified. But here is the truth. God doesn't wait for our perfection before he calls us. He uses us right in the middle of our brokenness. Not to excuse sin, not to say it doesn't matter, but to say, you matter to me even here. I am not ashamed to walk with you while you heal. And I want you to picture this. You walk into a room that is completely dark. You can't see anything. You are bumping into things, stumbling, afraid. Then someone turns a flashlight. Immediately your attention goes to that light. You don't care who is holding it. You just want to see. That's what we are meant to be. Not the ones mocking people in the dark, but the ones holding the light. Or think about a pot of rice with no salt. It's cooked, it's ready, but it's bland. It doesn't satisfy. Then someone add just a little salt and everything changes. The same rice now tastes alive. That's why Jesus said, we are the salt of the earth. We are the light of the earth. The church should be like that salt, bringing out flavor, bringing out hope, bringing out life. But when shame rules our culture, people don't taste God's love. They just taste judgment. Whereas this God is overwhelmingly loving. I can't tell you enough of how loving He is. He's a God that sits with you in your pain. He understands the shame that you are going through. You may not know, but He sees you. My husband, while he was here, he used to stutter. He's now in heaven because I'm a widow. He passed on May 2023, in case if you've not heard before. Speaking was shameful for him. And I felt his pain, even as a human being. There's so many times I see people, they are not even patient enough for him to finish speaking. They have to try and help him to say things that he wants to say. But me being human being, I felt his pain. How much more God looking at you, that you're facing addiction every day, you can't help it. How is He now going to pull you down? How is He going to condemn you? So when people walk into the church, they shouldn't feel dirty. They shouldn't feel inferior. They shouldn't feel unwanted. They shouldn't feel like they must clean up before they can belong. Because God's love doesn't work like that. You belong as you are, not as you think you should be by now. So if you are really reflecting Him, then the church must become a place of welcome, not whispering, a place of restoration, not reputation management, a place where even the worst story can be brought into light and met with mercy. So I want to share something deeply personal, a quote from what I heard the Father say that changed everything for me. I love you, my daughter. I love you, my children. I see your imperfections, but I look beyond them. I see your heart and I see the blessing you are to those around you. I don't see you the way the church sees you. I see you through the eyes of love. That is what Papa is telling you today. He said it to me so many times. When I met him 2 years ago, I was filled with shame. That shame has been there since growing up as a little child. And I still always feel I'm not worthy of him. But he sought me out. And I want you to know that he loves you. It's also said in the past, there was no separation between Jesus and me on the cross, because a lot of people always think when Jesus was on the cross that he was not there. And there's no separation when you sin either. When you fall, I don't step away from you. I lean in closer to you. Shame pushes you from me. Love pulls you back. And that's not the God of religion taught many of us, but that is the Father and I know. He doesn't stand at a distance with crossed arms, wait for you to grovel long enough, or replay your darkest moment on a loop in heaven. Instead, he comes closer, right into the place you are most ashamed of. The sad thing is you can't hear him. If you can train yourself to be able to hear God, you'll be saying what you'll be capturing his emotions, his words, his support in the moment. So we need to understand this. Conviction says you did something wrong. Let me help you turn around. Shame says you are something wrong. You don't belong here. So God convicts, religion shames. Conviction is loving. It leads to life. Shame is suffocating. It leads to hiding. The enemy loves shame because it makes you think God is disgusted with you. It keeps you from praying. It isolates you from community. God loves you so much that he wants to break that cycle. For some of us, shame feels familiar. It's painful, but it feels like home. We think if I feel ashamed, at least I've been honest about how terrible I am. So shame becomes a twisted comfort. But here's the truth. Shame doesn't make you holy. It just makes you miserable. You don't honor the cross by punishing yourself. You honor the cross by receiving what Jesus already paid for, forgiveness. So, one of the most powerful ways to destroy shame is honesty. Let me say it again. One of the most powerful ways to destroy shame is honesty. The enemy thrives in secrecy. Don't tell anyone. Don't confess. They will reject you. But when we bring our sin, our struggle, our pain into the light, to God first, and then to save people, something breaks. We discover we are not alone. We are still loved. We are still wanted. And suddenly, the voice of shame begins to lose its power. A lady recently confided in me that her husband is struggling with 4 different addictions and is weighing this woman down. And I'm grateful to God that now I know the love of God. She came to me, I knew she just needed someone to hear her out, to embrace her, to love her, to encourage her. And I encouraged her, I said, continue to support your husband. Your husband can't help it. Continue to support him. Know that it's not something shameful. It's not about him. He's still your loving husband. And that woman felt loved, that she had to send me a text message after, thank you, Tolu. You really helped me. And that let me know that God will not abandon me. If you hear nothing else today, please hear this. God will never abandon you. Not when you fall, not when you relapse, not when you doubt, not when you question, not when you struggle. He didn't abandon me. He didn't abandon Matthew, and he will not abandon you. He is there in your room when you cry, in your car when you feel too ashamed to pray, in the silence when you think you have gone too far. And in those moments, his heart towards you sounds like this: I love you, my child. I see the whole story, not just this page. I know why you struggle. I know the pain that shaped you, and I'm not ashamed of you. Come to me with your shame, and I'm the only one who can carry it. So maybe you've been cast out by a church, exposed publicly, lied about, judged for sexuality, condemned for your past, or quietly killed inside by religious expectation. Maybe you walked away because staying was destroying you. If that's you, I want to say this. You may have walked away from religion, but that doesn't mean you've walked away from God. It might just mean you walk away from something He never asked you to carry. The burden of shame is not from Him. The heavy yoke of condemnation is not from Him. Jesus carried your shame so you wouldn't have to wear it anymore. So, a simple prayer. If shame has been clinging to you, you don't have to have the perfect words. You can start here. Father, I am tired of being ashamed. I'm tired of hiding. I bring you my past, my sin, my secret, and my story. I don't want to run from you anymore. Show me who I am to you. Heal the places in me that believe I'm unworthy. Teach me to see myself through your eyes and through your eyes of love. I lay down the burden of shame today. Jesus, thank you for carrying it for me. Help me to live free. Amen. This is the journey we are on together, moving from religion to relationship, from shame to sonship, from fear to freedom. If this spoke to you, stay with me. There's more the Father wants to heal, more lies He wants to dismantle, and more of His love He wants to reveal. You are not your worst moment. You are not your reputation. You are not your label. You are deeply loved, and God is not ashamed of you. God bless.